It takes a lot of effort, it takes heart, it takes commitment, and it takes all of us to be in sync. Synergy, we have to be together. It's a band, so one sound, one band.
We're not A class, we're not B class, we are world class.
I was in my bed and I was rocking that bed because my family made me so proud. You're talking about from the right music selection to me feeling the bass through my phone to the girls them in sync to everything.
When the Junkanoo music roll over, when the music play, you can't get to me. You cannot get in my zone. I enter a space, a realm, a dimension. We're only me in there, me and music, me and drum, me and rhythm.
No matter what, no matter how. When you hear the sound of the drum, I can start beating now and people will start walking outside and coming out to see, you know, like who. This drum is like a vacuum to Bahamians. They want to feel it, they want to hear it, they want to see it.
When the goat skin was there, we used to, like the glass them on Bay Street was ready to shatter. That's how strong the music was. And you could have came home days and days after and you could have feel the music inside you.
Places ask what is Junkanoo. That's a personal feeling. That's a feeling of self, I should say self-feeling, or spirit, or a drive. You see? And our arrangements tell the story how we feel at the time.
This is Junkanoo music, and this is what it means to us.
It's in you, it's like a spirit. It's a soul that you can see everyone jumps and dances to and participates in just to the sounds. You can feel it in the ground, you can hear it in my voice. And so it's really important, it's in the soul of all Bahamians, and I think we can continue to bring it out in more Bahamians.
No matter what part of the world you are, that's you. We would always dance, that's a part of us. We who don't know that, that's all we know.
In that zone, I am nothing. I ain't a Bahamian, I'm married, I have no children, I ain't nothing. It's just me and my drum. And I find that when I get there, it does nothing matters. The cable bill don't matter, the children's school fee don't matter. Right now, it's just me and music. And for me, that getting into that zone and being able to uphold what I know is ancestral. I know that I'm doing my purpose. I know that the ancestors who would have started this, who would have done this in times before, would be proud to know that there are other young men who, in their times of stress, in their times of distress, they turn to Junkanoo. And in my time of stress and distress, I can now turn to Junkanoo the same way and feel a sense of relief, feel a sense of culturalism, a sense of nationalism as a real and true bona fide Junkanoo.
Sometimes we take it for granted as just another way to feel good and have fun. But for a lot of us, it is an actual form of healing.
Junkanoo is a weapon that anything that you're going through,
tune into Junkanoo. Sometimes I be in this house, I go to YouTube and I tune into Junkanoo. It give me that drive, because sometimes you be lonely, you be discouraged, you thinking things. I click into Junkanoo and it give me that jump to say, you're a warrior, you have to fight.
The beauty of Junkanoo music lies in the fact that you can put your own personal spin on it and make it your own.
And we always feel like everybody's the best. And a symbol as the warriors, trying to make it a warrior tribe sound and mixing it with Bahamian sound. So, and that's the sound and a new, unique sound that we have. And we want to continue that trend, but we always try to be different and to try to be the best at what we do. And you can see all the other groups, they follow our arrangements and they follow the way how we play. We're just trendsetters and we will remain that. And you know, we just can't wait to get back on the road again to continue to strive to be the best and to push our music out there.
Because anyone can recreate this sound at its basic level, parades are often decided by the song selection a brass line chooses.
When the group selects a theme, we meet, first of all, me and the brass leader, we meet, we strategize on, hey, how we want to portray this musically. Because at the end of the day, the crowd, they see the banner come first, then they see the costume. So you already put them in a place, whereas they in that theme. So we have to, I guess, live up to the expectation. Because if you bring in a Christmas theme, you wouldn't want to hear gospel, you want to hear Deck the Halls or stuff like that. So yeah, that's what we do. We strategize, me and them first, and then after that we go to our other subordinates and stuff like that, and we do it. Even we go to the back line and hey, you know what I mean? So that's what we do.
Sometimes you have a strong whole team as far as music is concerned. Well, we wouldn't have no problem that New Year's with the Bob Marley, because we know, I think we jump on that, you know, at the time on you know, myself and Sos, and along as far as some more arrangers, you know, we said, okay, now New Year's, we can be straight.
There is a particular group that comes to Bay every year and entertains us even before we get to Bay Street with their professionally recorded music.
You know something, it's amazing. We were rushing for about 4 to 5 years before Super thought that we were coming out with different person songs, you know what I mean? And Super thought about the idea to say, let's create our own songs. And the first song we came out still is a national hit. S-T-I-N-G, somebody threw this thing on me. So, and that was our first one. And it was done by, I forgot his name.
It was done by Stevie S.
Stevie S. And then Rig Me and Scrape Me, and then Boy You Don't Know Me, eh? Then we have all these songs, and then we have what? When Todas come to your party, all these things. So the Bahamas, that's why the Bahamas people right now, the Bahamas, the whole Bahamas really is so excited now. Wonder what we are coming out with this year.
But 38 times they playing slick.
That's a old school one.
It is one of the most technical instruments to learn and possibly the most expressive in any given back line. The key that turns the ignition and gets the engine going from a complete standstill. It even makes you do things like this.
You get your car, and then now your lead drummer is what you call the key. To start this engine. You understand?
Nowadays, every person would roll over a group, roll over with a tom-tom. That's your pacemaker, your trendsetter. That's the mood setter.
Clarity is the most important part. Clarity, because you're the first drum what's kicking over this whole entire group. So this has to be practiced and it has to be perfect. That's the reason for a kickoff, man. It's like an introduction. You see what I'm saying? And you let him run, you let him set for a little while, let him run so everybody from the drummer to in the front, on the side of him, straight all the way down to the back, the last drummer in the back line. And then everybody comes in down the line, and when this music lock, then you get your soup.
The tum-tum can set you right or the tum-tum can set you wrong. It's a feeling.
Most casual fans will never know it, but it is the most anticipated and adrenaline-filled part of Junkanoo, the rollover. But being a part of a backline and beating drums comes with particular challenges, and if you want to be the best, then you have to
practice. The difference is our section practice, the work we put in, to teach who ain't up the power, to bring everybody up to the same level. So that's like the biggest part about it is to teach and practice, put the extra practice
We learn from each other. We had bass practice, and that's why bass practice used to be so important. So you could come to bass practice and you could line the double rocks. If you don't line the double rocks, you go deep south. You go deep south. Deep south. If you used to be on the second line, third line, if you don't line the double rocks, you go deep south. No answer and buts about it. You go deep south. When you come to Bay Street, you be deep south.
It may seem trivial. After all, it is just Junkanoo, and it is just for fun. These are primitive instruments being played, so what does it matter if we practice or not? Well, sometimes adversity strikes, and in moments like these is where that practice, discipline, and attention to detail bear fruit.
Us trying to lock the rhythm because of the size of the group that particular morning. We had a lot of drummers in the front, and then there was miscommunication on when to move on the fire, when time to line up on the tum-tum. The group was on the clock, and we had to start the music with who was there. And it created some issues with the turnover because of us not being able to line up properly. So what we had to do is try to play the rhythm for almost 10 minutes before we could even set the music. There's a couple different things that happens once the music starts to either pick up or if the music is too slow. So for instance, if the music is too slow, normally the bass calls a double bass pattern and it picks the music up, or the bellas could come to the rhythm drummers and start ringing the bells probably a little faster, and it could cause the rhythm to turn up. Now, slowing it down, there's a particular rhythm we play to slow down the tempo, as well as if the bass has one particular pattern they hit in order to slow down the entire music. So it's a like answer and call situation in regards to the bass either picking it up or the bass slowing it down.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, this is typically how a Junkanoo group gets their parade started. First, a crazy fanfare that hypes the group and sets the crowd on fire. Then, there's the rollover.
You get a rollover man. You get some kick over people what don't just roll over. They have different techniques where they are dominant. They can roll over and they can still control the music straight through. Then you have some chemistry where you only have a kickoff man, he's only good for kickoff, but then his second man, his wing man, is the man with carrying it home.
When women kick over, I never rush to come in as a bass leader. I allow all of his tom-tom to answer to his call. Everyone. I talk him from front to back. And if it ain't right, you can get it right before the bass come in. Because once the bass come in and the rhythm ain't right, we in trouble. The bass and the tom-tom now before I call the pattern has to be synchronizing, has to be locked. I don't want to have two different tom-tom. I don't want to have that. So I ain't gonna kick over unless my ear tell me it's time to go. And once my ear tell me it's time to go, that's when the bass come in.
When the lead drummer kick off, give him about 10 to 20 seconds until the bass come in. And then when the bass come in, then you start it.
But since Junkanoo is an expressive art form, there are always deviations from the norm and exceptions to every rule. Because for the cowbells to come in before the bass,
normal.
Tell me about that.
Well, the thing is, what we try to do is, if you watch other groups, if you study other Junkanoo groups, they start off with a very, very, very slow rollover, and it eventually builds into a nice chicken tempo by the time as you get to Rawson Square. In my experience as within Colors and also as drum section leader, I find that we're not that good. We almost have to start at the tempo that we're going to be for the entire time. If we lock at that slow tempo, it is very rare that we move to another tempo or that we accelerate as other groups do. And so because of that, things like the cowbells, now we get really musical now. See, Junkanoo fellas don't like to get really musical about it. The cowbells carry the 16 notes that fills all of the gaps. And although a rollover is nice and you could dance to that, Junkanoo is not Junkanoo until you add the bells, until you add the bass. Because the bass carry the heartbeat, the bells carry the 16 notes, and when you add that on the Junkanoo rhythm, that's what creates what we know as lock, or when the music locks. So we bring our bells in early to establish the tempo, and then we allow the bass to come in and to provide the heartbeat and to drive the tempo, just like other groups would do in that regard.
Practicing is just for us to condition and to keep in shape, you understand? And most importantly, when you go on bay, what we practice, we put out there.
You can never be, 100%. So the idea is to continue to practice, to continue to get better and just be ready for bass street.
Every Junkanoo group has their own strategy, ways of building chemistry, and their own unique and iconic sound. It is the essence of cultural oneness and trademark expression.
Colors music is definitely something different. Normally, when people talk about Colors music, they describe it as a band because all of the parts, especially for the brass, are extremely organized. We pride ourselves on articulation. You'll hardly ever hear someone blowing the hell out of the instrument or the life out of the instrument. Everyone, for the most part, are musicians, whether it be 40 brass members, or whether it be 20 brass members, or whether it be 5 brass members, you get the same quality every time, whereas maybe with other groups, it may not be the same. And so we try to give the same quality, whether it be a 12-man, a 20-man, 40-man, or even the entire group, in terms of Junkanoo organization, and that professionalism is what makes Colors different from other groups in terms of music.
A good backline is a backline would understand tempo, would understand timing,
You know what I mean? And once you have that type of sense, that type of common sense about the music, you can't stray far, you understand? That's a good backline to me.
Roots, our music separates us from everybody else because we just bring that tropical, that vibrant beat, that vibrant rhythm. You know, no comparison when Roots line up on Bay Street in terms of music-wise. Quality is a serious thing, so you need numbers. Right. But times have changed. So it's really quality over quantity. Okay. So that since once you get some nice talent, 1 or 2 skills in the back that people are willing to learn, people are willing to practice, because you got to put in the practice. As you can see, we are now, we be practicing from early as sometimes June, July, right, until present. So you got to put in that work, you got to put in that time. But trust me, quality over quantity.
Understanding the music, being in sync with each section, the bellas, the bass drum, the block horn, the tom-tom, the brass. Everybody have to be in sync. But most of all, you have to understand it. You know, you have to understand, you know, like Big Tino say, understand the tempo. And it all starts with the lead drummer.
During our hiatus from Junkanoo, there have been a lot of moving parts that have been swapped out. One family in particular has a new rollover man for the first time in 11 years.
We have somebody right now who is actually filling in that spot. He still needs some more cleaning up, but for right now, he's doing an excellent job, and there's still a lot more to go. As for endurance, and to be clear, clarity and endurance is a key thing in this tom-tom line.
It's a nice feeling. I like the opportunity that he gave me too. And coming up on now, a lot of veterans and things and elderly people who I've been watching. So I come from far too, so it wasn't easy. I had to work my way up. That's why I try to show the young sets, like, I ain't just come rushing in the front. I had to work my way up and achieve my goal. And I had to practice, not just only coming out here on Thursdays, but as well as home. Because that's get you better too.
It's been almost 3 years since a Boxing Day and New Year's Day parade have been on Bay Street. So I got a question. Y'all ready?
Colors is going to be impressive as usual. Now those groups that are coming out to try to dethrone us, I'm never gonna say you can't win, right? But if you win, you hard.
I hope you're ready, because we ain't slunking. The Warriors coming. Believe me, the Warriors coming, so you all better be ready.
What I have to say to my competition is that the island of New Providence is only 7 by 21. And after both parades, we still have to live with each other. But on those 2 particular mornings, the Saxons in the road, and it's no time for cutting up and talking and play.
Red line coming. We ain't putting no pressure, but if you slip, we coming. We ain't pushing and forcing it, but red line is coming. We ain't going, we coming.
I'm asking those ladies, especially around the line, who could really dance. Well, I'm the best dancer on Bay Street, so I want them to be, a part with me in front of the banner.
It's Roots in the morning!
Hey, it's time to get back to Bay. Junkanoo is alive. Let's go, guys. See you on Bay.